Alright guys, so this is a review of a model that I'm sure pretty much everybody watching it isn't watching it to actually buy one, they're just watching it to see the model. And luckily it doesn't have too much detail or anything, so I could show you it, in a fair amount of time. Anyway, this is the Grove AMZ66 produced by Conrad. An extremely rare model to have. Doesn't really sell for much, but, it's honestly the first time I ever heard of this model is when I seen it where I bought it from. Before I get a million questions, I bought it off an auction on eBay from a private seller for 51 bucks with shipping, which was a fair amount. To get started, functions of it are really nice. It's not a large model, but functions of it are nice, and I'll go over what everybody's waiting for to probably see it unfold. So pretty much, if you raise the back of the boom, it raises like that, and there's this one knuckle here that raises like that. And then you could raise this to right there. This is going to be hard to show, so what I'm going to do is actually fold it down, but to show it real quick like that, it raises to right there. That's the maximum angle you could get. And then it telescopically extends to around right there. Mine actually popped out the other day and I lost a spring, so I'm just waiting to replace the spring, but that's as far as it will extend out. And overall height of it is probably very short. It's probably maybe 14 inches tall, if that. So like I said, not a very large model at all. And it will rotate a 360. And I'm not spinning it like that because it's going to hit the wall, and then the tires do turn, and you could fishtail the machine if you wanted, like so, or you could turn it in a circle, and it actually has a very nice turning radius. Looking at the detail of it, detail is pretty low, and the person who I bought it from didn't say that I had all these scratches on it, so don't bash me too much. I didn't scratch it. It's actually how I bought it, but surprisingly the tire and rim detail is fairly nice. It's a lot nicer than the body and everything. I guess, it's kind of a plain machine in real life, but they turn to a radius, which is really nice. Unfortunately, they're mounted on plastic, but, it's not going to hold up anything or lift anything. I don't know if these are tie-down points on a trailer or if they're actually points to lift it, and I use it to lift it, and it looks really nice when it's lifted. It also, the model balances very well if you lift it from these, because there's also two on the other side. Looking at the body of it, you can see it actually has like the handle detail and the hinge detail. The decaling isn't the most crisp, but for some reason, this line with the brown isn't, but then the Grove man lift is, so whatever is done there, I really don't know. And here's the exhaust. Surprisingly, the exhaust is metal. And this side also has, some grille detail. And the decal, you can actually see it's clear. It's a very old model. The main cylinder to raise the first knuckle is right there. And it's actually pretty hidden. It's hard to see it at times, and I guess that's considered a good thing. And then coming up, it has the joint right here, and then the other cylinder, and it's actually really stiff, and it's perfect because it's like that. The holes are here to limit the weight because it really doesn't need that much strength. The maximum lift is probably only like 500-600 pounds, if that, in the basket. But the cool thing is you could see them, come out, and if you ever need to lock it, you could just put a little brass rod or even a paper clip in there so it won't slide in or anything if you have it at the maximum height. Another cool thing is that if you notice, it says Grove in there, and then come into the basket. I believe the basket is supposed to be displayed like that. It does spin. I don't know if it's supposed to, but I'm not sure if the controls are supposed to be facing the machine or facing the radius. So I'm not too sure. I'm just going to keep it like this. Good thing is it's not self-leveling, so you could tell if you want to, put it on a low boy and it doesn't fit or whatever, you could fold down the basket, not like the real one would do that, but it does do that. Basket is very limited detail though. If you notice right there, it's just flat. I don't have a date of when this was produced, but I'm guessing very early 90s. But luckily it does have a decal on the basket. And then coming to this side, displaying it, and I think it looks really nice on display, and the basket is plastic as well. So to sum it up, if you could find one for cheap, definitely get it. I wouldn't pay over 80 bucks for this model. It's really nice to have on display, but it's also very small and, you know, limited detailed. If you want to see it compared to a truck or on a truck, I'll put it on my 335 flatbed, and that's where I think it looks best. And obviously it is oversized, but here's what it looks like on that, and I think it just looks really cool on that. So not only can you see a nice load, but you could also see it with a size comparison to a truck. And it would also look really cool in a diorama. Aren't that many 1/50th scale man lifts on the market, I should say. I meant to say models made. So if you could find one, definitely pick one up, and I hope you enjoyed this review.